let's get started. That's not a sigh. That's just really hot tea. Welcome back to Tea Time with Tony, or Tea Time Tuesday. Today we got a kettle upgrade, as you saw. Very fancy, has blue lights. And I'm wearing this fancy mic from Amazon. They should sponsor me. Hopefully the audio is good this time. Just some housekeeping things. I know I haven't been showing my mindful meditation, but that's because for the last 2 days I had trouble waking up due to not sleeping properly on Sunday, Monday. But I still been doing mindful meditation. We're on 6 minutes now, and I think we'll add a minute every single week type of deal. My Amazon package arrived with this mic and charging cables. I only have more than enough charging cables for everything. And due to poor sleep on Sunday night, I think I'm going to do caffeine limitations past 12 p.m. So if I don't drink coffee before 12, that's it. I don't get another chance to, even if I'm super tired. Surprisingly, I've been doing more naps, so there's that. Hopefully that helps a little bit. The funny thing is, I'm able to function better on just 5 to 10 to 15 minutes of quick power nap, and then immediately after I feel much better and I can function for a little while longer. I also realized that when I lacking sleep, when I'm lacking sleep, it feels like I have the urge to sigh more, probably because you just feel so tired and done with everything, and everything seems like a chore. So for my own sanity's sake of not needing to do 100 push-ups every time, I gotta get better sleep. It's been a little bit of adjustment since I now wake up at 6 instead of what used to be 6:30. So in preparation for next week, I'm really gonna try to sleep early and wake up properly on time. Tomorrow, for example, I'm gonna make it a mission to film mindful meditation before I leave for the gym. This tea is actually pretty good. Now that the housekeeping is out of the way, let's get into the scar on the back of my head. You don't really notice it because I have long hair usually, but I found this out from my friends back in junior high actually. Back then, I also did a couple times where I shaved my head bald, and every time the kids would point to the back of my head and be like, "Hey Tony, why is there a scar on the back of your head?" At first, I was like, "What are you talking about?" Because, it's on the back of my head, so how would I even know about that? It's not like I'm gonna take a picture of the back of my head and then look at it myself, right? But when they told me, I looked and it's pretty prominent. So I joke with them. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I got into a fight and somebody hit me with a crowbar," and it lines up with the story because the scar is like slanted sideways. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. This car I got from when I was very, very small. It was back when I was just living in China with my mom. My dad was not in the house at the time. And it was a typical day. I was very young, and my mom was sweeping the floor and cleaning up around the house. I think it was like an apartment that we lived in. So it was 2 stories. There's the first floor living room area, and then upstairs the bedroom, I think. And it wasn't that big, but there was a staircase. So my mom was on the living room floor sweeping, and I went upstairs to play. And when I came down, I saw that my mom was cleaning up, so I thought I would help her. There were some, I think, soda cans on the staircase, so I went to pick them up, and I think I was 2 at the time. But basically, I lost my balance, flipped headfirst down the stairs, and the first point of contact with the next set of stairs was the back of my head. And what ended up happening was I cracked my head open. The back of my head open. And I obviously don't remember because it's so long ago and I was so tiny. I just remember my mom screaming, rushing over, picking me up and looking at the back of my head. And the whole time I'm like laying back like this, and I just feel a rush of blood, or the sensation of rush of blood, but I'm pretty sure it's also actual blood gushing out of the back of my head, you know? So the next little bit was a blur, but essentially my mom picked me up, held my head with her one hand and then carried me with the other and started running. I just remember looking up at the blue sky that day. It was sunny, and in a couple minutes I was at the local clinic, and my mom was just screaming in the local dialect, help, help, you know, my son cracked his head open. And the doctor immediately started helping me. I always tell people that I never broken a bone in my body before, but I guess if you count the skull, then technically I have broken that bone. Basically, they went in and stitched me up. It wasn't like too severe, and I was young, so over time it healed. And I remember like 4 weeks later to go back and remove the stitches. The result was hair just doesn't grow on the back of my head anymore. And I think it's a pretty interesting story to tell people because back in school I always had really good grades. So some of my friends who knew this story, they're like, how do you manage that when you cracked your head open when you're so young? And I tell them, no, it's because I cracked my head open that, you know, it grew back stronger and I had more brain cells to spare. And they would always just laugh at when I say that. And I think it's cool because I don't think it affected me majorly as far as I can tell. Or who knows, maybe I could have been a super genius. But they say that when football players get into a concussion, or a boxer, they lose millions of brain cells at a time. And I imagine it's the same case for me. I lost a lot of brain cells that day, so I could have been a super genius. Who knows? Or You know, I was young enough to where I had enough brain cells to spare. But it's fun to think about sometimes. Like, for example, if I landed any harder, could I have died, you know? It's one of those things that you just gotta think about. And I don't mind that the back of my head doesn't have hair. To me, for the most part, I have long hair, so it doesn't even matter. But even if people saw me with, my general demeanor and such, I think it gives off like a scary aura and pretty funny, with my shaved head. I could pass for like a mafia boss or something. But yeah, that's it for today's Tea Time Tuesday. Just wanted to share that little story in case anyone was curious about the back of my head and scar. Just gonna show a zoomed in picture after this. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you tomorrow for Wildcard Wednesday. For the record, I don't think tea affects me in that way for caffeine, so hopefully I'll be okay. I'll test it tonight when I try to sleep though. But yeah, see ya.
Oh my gosh, look at this dog. Look at him. He's sitting like a person. And he's wearing a sweater. So funny.
Morning. Catching up on some sleep debt today. Still feeling a little tired, but chest is not that sore. Feels weird because I thought I worked it pretty hard yesterday. Gonna do a quick arm session today. Hopefully that feels good even though I'm a little sleepy. See you at the gym. Anyway, what's a quota today?
The only limit is the mind.
So when you came home yesterday was a nosebleed. Was that the limit of your mind?
Yes. And my blood pressure. But
Are you okay?
yeah.
How are you feeling?
I felt slightly dizzy. But it's fine.
What caused it? You said that so much blood came out.
I was playing gaga ball, and then
It's
suddenly
always Kagaba.
I felt a stream of liquid run down my nose. I asked my classmate, "Am I having a nosebleed?" They said yes. I rushed to the bathroom. A ton of blood is in my hands.
How would you treat that?
Go into the office.
What they do?
They literally gave me a box of tissues and then told me to hold my nose.
Really?
Yes.
And that was the end of it?
Yes.
I hope you don't go so hard today, okay?
Yeah.
Alright. Bye. Hey, just got done at the gym. Went to the bank for some errands, and now I'm waiting for the bus to go drop off 2 packages today. In my hand, there's a little mic. This is just straight from Amazon. Pretty cool. The receiver just plugs into your phone, and then you can clip this mic or just talk into it, I assume. Gonna check the audio quality when I get home. But yeah, today, even though I was tired, I hit a great arm session. Didn't get the pump that I wanted, but still felt good. I felt like I hit all parts of my arm. The weather is kind of gloomy today. I'm not mad though. It's not that cold. Usually in January, it'd be like -20. So I'll take what we currently have. I think it's close to 0. This last year has actually been really weird. It barely snowed at all in Calgary, and most of the time it's just hovering around 0. And to be honest, I don't hate it. There's some bad days, of course, but overall, some decent weather for Calgary at this time of the year.
Just a quick portfolio update. Pretty flat today. Wish I could buy more mate, but it's now overweight in the portfolio, so gotta stop buying. US markets look pretty bad too. Wish I could buy more, but AMD maxed out, so I think I made a mistake of buying too much too early. Just got too excited starting the portfolio, I guess.